The actual first, so I found that article and I was like, you know what? That one seems a little, maybe not positive enough. And I went and I found a different article about the Trump gold card that he has been talking a lot about.
Neither of these are that positive.
The best two things you can find in the world is that meth deaths are climbing and Trump is selling a gold card to pay our national debt.
Both big. I can't imagine being anything but excited about both of these two things. I think this topic has always been, he's been circulating the idea of this gold card for, I don't know, a few months at least. And apparently in about 2 weeks, Elon Musk's team or whoever is at Doge, including the guy that pseudonym is Big Balls, is helping launch the buying process for the gold card. For those who don't know, the idea is that much like a green card, you have a residency card, a permanent residency card that you can just flat out buy. You can skip
buy
the
your
whole
way to become an American permanent resident.
Mm-hmm. You can pay $5 million for the gold card, which is apparently going to pay off our national debt.
That's like the price of 2 dozen eggs.
It's just a few eggs.
Dude, how long till rappers are wearing the gold card on like a chain? Like the way when Charizards are worth a lot, didn't Logan Paul have like a Charizard?
Oh, yeah, that's good.
If it's
that actually is the gold card. It's every PSA 10 Charizard.
I mean, that's rare. That's scary.
When I was in high school, that's what I did with my green card. I wore it around my neck.
But you spray painted it gold.
Did you? No.
Oh my God. That's such a bad idea.
No,
You're putting out a bad image if you believe that too easily.
Was that the positive story? Was you wearing the gold card?
Yeah, that I could have been wearing a gold chain in high school instead of my.
So they're launching it. It's happening.
Yeah, it's supposed to. I think much like Elon Musk's other time estimates for his projects, we'll see. But I think as funny as this is, the idea that Trump, with everything about him, comes into power and makes a gold card that you can buy for $5 million to become a part of the United States, at least your permanent residency, it seems kind of silly. I think in the grand scheme of things, this is pretty unimportant, but I actually don't think it's that bad. And I was wondering if you guys could point out any big flaws in this, because a lot of countries offer permanent residencies or citizenships by investment. Yeah. A lot of places do this. For instance, in Ireland, you can just pay $1 million to become a citizen. It's like $1 million flat. In Switzerland, you can pay $250.
So in a way, American citizenship is 5 times more valuable than Irish citizenship.
Not even citizenship, just the people. Like
just
human
the people are better, 5 times better.
The value of
5x better than
the market has valued. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
The free market of ideas.
And at 20,000 patrons, we're going to go to Ireland and tell people in the streets that. But the examples there's so many examples of this. I think somewhat famously, me and Atrioc have joked about how Gabe Newell during COVID apparently bought his permanent residency in New Zealand. He just purchased it. And other countries like Switzerland, $250K
just to be
a
clear,
year.
we talked about if there was an apocalypse, we would sneak into Gabe Newell's bunker in New Zealand, kill him, and then live in
Yeah, that was the context. That was the context. We might have to bleep that out. But I was wondering what you guys think, because I think by no means is this going to pay off the national debt. But if anything, what does this do? It gets rich people who want American citizenship to be a part of our tax base. Like, that feels not that bad. Because if you're a foreign investor in the US, you can already buy assets and like influence things within American society and politics. I feel like if you really want to, like if you were just a foreign investor in a company or in housing, you can pretty much do that already. So it's like, okay, well, welcome to being taxed by the United States to some degree.
How many zeros are in a trillion?
Ooh,
yeah, I mean,
isn't it 12?
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, divided by 5 million, which is what, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? Yeah. So if we sell 200,000,
that's so awesome.
If we sell 200,000 gold cards, we make $1 trillion. So I actually think that's not unrealistic. 200,000 is a lot. That's not going to happen.
200,000 people with $5 million to buy it. to be taxed and chased by the United States.
Not like in a month, not right away, but if you think over the course of like a decade, absolutely. If you think of many major countries, so it's like there's a number of reasons why it's smart. It's like an exit strategy. Let's say you're in China, right? And you're concerned, although I don't know if Chinese citizens would be able to buy this, but in any sort of any country that has a more, let's say, authoritarian or government that might rapidly crack down on certain industries or things like that, you'd be incentivized to have a backup strategy, basically, of being able to be in the US. For most people who have $5 million, they're probably thinking a lot about how to make money. One of the best places to do that in the world by far is America. So having permanent residency here would be great. And then I think part of the thinking is then it incentivizes people who do that and buy this to come to America, set up a little office, they're renting an apartment, they're doing whatever else. So they're also then dumping more money into the country. I don't see a lot of downside with it, to be honest. Like, I'm sure it will be abused by some people, but if we as America were not 35 trillion, whatever it is, in debt, then this feels less necessary. But if we're literally just trying to figure out how to get out of potentially country ruining debt, and you can just have like 200,000 people give you a ton of money at basically no cost and no problems to you, like that seems pretty good.
I mean, I'll villain share a little bit in that I agree that there's no real downsides. I don't think it's going to get abused that much. I think if you made the number 500 million or something for the cost, everyone could see, oh, okay, there's no downside, but no one's going to buy it. That's essentially what's true for the 5 million, in that there's not enough people in the world who have 100 million plus assets, which is what you really need to afford this kind of 5 million thing. There's not 200,000 of them in the world. There's not, I mean, there's the number of billionaires in the world is relatively minuscule. It's just not enough people to like make a serious dent. So I'm frustrated with it in that it seems like another Doge style thing where it's almost like a look over here at how much we're doing to, these are all another thing, like, we're gonna get the debt, but the debt is going up. The debt is going up as we speak. The debt continues to go up, continue to not talk about anything other than the real problems. So while this is not, I think a few people will buy this and it will give us $5 million for each one, for the tax base, and they'll be citizens. But the idea there's so many people that really want to pay American taxes and give us $5 million, it's not a ton of people. It's not a huge market for this.
Yeah, I think if you look at the places that offer this, it's often a place that has some sort of tax or financial benefit to you, like a place like Switzerland or like a place like Ireland. They come with some sort of
they have an excellent passport. They have an
system, amazing passport that lets you take advantage. Whereas that's what when I've looked at moving and going somewhere else, one of the things that when you're an American citizen is that the taxation follows you. You're not taxed by your residency, you're taxed by your citizenship. So when you're, I guess because you're not a citizen, this wouldn't necessarily apply, but I can't imagine a lot of people getting residency
and not then trying to become
and then not trying to become citizens after.
If you're spending $5 million on it, I assume they have a plan to become a citizen.
Somebody, I would need to see a further breakdown of like the benefits and like
counterpoint. The people who are rich enough to spend $5 million to get what is essentially a green card, maybe don't want to deal with the taxes of America, so they're incentivized to have this as like a sort of safe haven for them and for their business, and so almost like treating it as a foreign office or something, and then not actually going for citizenship, so they dodge taxes. I don't know, because this thing does not give you citizenship. You would then have to go through the whole process of whatever it is, like years.
Yeah.
Takes a while.
Yeah. What is like 10 years?
It's not super quick.
Yeah.
I think it took me, from when I got my green card until I became a citizen, I think it took me 7 years.
Would you say that was worth $5 million? If you right then were given the option, we'll pay you $5 million, but you have to leave and never come back.
And you're looking like, who is this 9-year-old Aiden in the eyes?
And you're like, they're like,
you're
next to a GameStop. You're like looking at all the games you could buy. They're like $5 million. You have to leave the country.
Is it worth it? I really,
you give up,
but I could buy a lot of copies of like Super Monkey Ball instead.
But the counterpoint is it's an investment in your future. You've easily made that back since being a citizen.
Yeah, I've come out on top, if anything. I think in all seriousness, the 5 million part is tough. I actually think a better use for this, because the framing of this being used to pay or make an impact on the debt because of the reasons we've talked about, I feel like is the misleading part. But the idea of this existing is something I'm not opposed to. I actually think offering this at a lower price point kind of makes sense. I don't think our immigration system should be pay to win in the first place, but I do think
You think it should be a loot box?
a loop.
You think you put in a small amount of
Like
money
the
and it
H-1B.
spins?
Yeah.
Wait, this is just the immigration lottery. This actually is the immigration
Yeah, no,
lottery.
we do currently have this. This is how it works. Yes.
No, but it's
my
not
God.
shiny. It's not like a
Explaining the
There's a-
immigration lottery through the context of CS cases. It's finally it's
So
clicking.
you get an immigration key and an immigration box. And
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I think that having a simpler version of this or a cheaper version of this might have some type of utility, but it feels bad that the solution to bad immigration policy is okay to get through all the paperwork and the bureaucracy, just pay enough money. I don't like that part of it
seems
either.
very transparently, it's just trying to make short-term revenue. I can't see it being like this, because if you're super rich, you can find a way to live in America, right? Like, I think this is a way to make that process just straightforward and just like, look, you can just buy your way in if you're like mega rich, just as short-term cash inflow. Right, like it's like you said, 200,000 is probably extremely over optimistic, but I bet,
that's for 1 trillion. No, not,
that's for a trillion. Yeah,
we
I
have
bet
32.
they can get tens of thousands. Of
that was
people
for
across
just,
the-
oh my God, I didn't even do the
that'd be
math.
for 1 trillion.
That's
yeah.
for one.
It's not like it's going to pay off the debt, but like, you know, it's going to take a lot of things to pay off the debt.
A lot
And
of revenue
if you
is
get
nice.
if you get 500 billion from this, like that's incredible.
I'm not opposed to it. Like I just think it's over talked about. Or
For the place it takes up in the news and the idea of this being significant, I feel like that's the misleading part. It's like, oh, it's fine that this exists, but it's not meaningful. It's like not a meaningful.
You know why
policy.
that is? It's because of the name Trump card. That's so well marketed. It's truly unbelievable. They're calling it the Trump card. And that is, you have to admit it, incredible, right? You're going to talk about it. Because then he literally says our Trump card is going to get us back in the green this year.
You rolling up to border security and flipping it over like you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh!
oh, Nani! They speak Japanese at border. Like
yeah.
This is in the Blade Runner future.
Wait.
Where we're all Japanese.
Speaking of gold.